if you don't mind, then, and if you decided to stick and wait, then we can skip a couple of weeks later. So it's a slow process, but in a couple of weeks you begin to observe some of the most evident effects. And so if it is okay, and if you want to do something else in the meanwhile, just tell me, and we can just fit the scene inside this couple of weeks. But
do you guys mind that? Do you mind just like hanging for a while and then checking?
I think I would just say that Mask is kind of keeping an eye open for shifts in behavior of police, security, whatever they would call it there.
Maybe every couple of days, Lilith is going to go check in with our Shinto priestess contact as well, just because that gives us another avenue for information.
Right.
That's kind of cool.
There would be like,
there's lots of scrolls and texts in that shrine,
Oh, are there?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Shinto
good to know.
They love books. So
okay, good.
The way I'm thinking is that
I'm gonna be a Shinto then.
Given the interest of the daimyo and the weaponry and the warfare state and the intentions that they have, we can actually maybe perceive changes in the behavior of
I did nail that history roll really hard. I can tell when things I should be able to tell, I think. When
that's
things
the
are
kind
sort
of thing that
restoring back to the way things were, or if they're getting weird again. But
or
I
if,
think
or if
taking the
people are
slow
getting
down
tense or something. That sort of thing.
So
okay, so let's take a look at a couple of weeks, maybe a month later. But the days are slow, and the routine is almost repetitive in a comforting way. So the dead coming into the capable hands of the Eta, the Burakumin, working on them. The talismans and the prayers are just like a mantra that is like some sort of song that is close to you as you sleep. As you close your eyes, you can still hear the noises and the prayers and the chants of the day, just as the smoke, the ceremonial smokes and books and tactile sensation sticks with Lilith, and maybe even Hazard as the Shinto priest is welcoming you. At the very beginning, she's very surprised that you decided to stick around, and then he just welcomes you as honored guests. He just explains to the other priests inside the temple that you're like honored guests and you should be treated with all respect. And the priestess that is called Cho is very interested in your nature, and being there a member of the order and being told that she should not meddle with the affairs of the stalker. She's very cautious, very humble, but at the same time, sometimes she's very direct, telling you or asking you things like where humans die, where humans go effectively when they die, or what exactly is your purpose. What is this? Maybe you just mentioned your keys, and so she's very curious about the keys, asking about what do they represent.
Bad things with those.
And the first sign, the first incident that you can witness is like 2 weeks after the events of the Unbeaten. There's one of the siege the machines is a gigantic metallic face roaming the streets, and then all of a sudden it stops and ceases functioning. Just stands there motionless, and at the very beginning people are trying to help. Maybe they are suggesting another kind of fuel, or they just suggest dismounting this piece, and maybe if we change it with this, it may return to work. But then they just give up, and after a while you can see that many of these things are like gravestones marking the end of your quest, because they're
right,
they do not move. And,
all that's good news to us, though.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, you can observe that sensation, that idea of not distinguishing the human from the machine, is now expanding geographically and metaphysically.
Okay.
Geographically, because from the castle it seems to expand every day, and now it starts to affect other things other than human beings. Like the carriages are made of some sort of technological advancement.
Right. Okay.
Buildings are now very connected with pipes and tubes.
People might even start talk to each other on telephones or something if we're not careful. All right.
And there's another thing. The talks about the rebellion, or about the idea of fighting back the daimyo, are actually emboldened by during this period. People are talking about the machine that stopped working, and so many of the hotheads of this revolution, or this so-called revolutionary army, are discussing about the idea of striking right now, since the daimyo is really relied on these machines to stop any kind of protest. And now it seems that it may be a good occasion. And another thing is that the guards and the police are even more aggressive than ever. And it seems so not only because they fear that these machines stopping that are not working anymore will cause problem to the city, but also because there are rumors of an emperor delegation that is coming. And when we pass our periods of a month, in just a couple of days, or even not even that, you just expect it from like really soon. It may be tomorrow, it may be the day after, but it's really soon. An emperor delegation will come, and it seems that it's interested in the technological advancement of the Tanegashima clan. Maybe he didn't receive any further notice, and it may be that he's unaware of the further developments after your arrival. And so you can catch this glimpse of conversations in the gambling houses or at work, and it seems that a couple of things are moving.
I have one other question about that entire context that you just described.
Yes.
The disappearances of Eta.
Yeah.
I assume that they have ceased. They have stopped. People have stopped disappearing.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent.
Okay.
All right. We did close that particular door, so that's I'm all right with that. What do you guys say? It's time for 3 dignitaries to go to the daimyo.
Definitely.
All right. So a grubby, stinking Eta leaves his place of corpse employment, and a dignified,
faraway land.
elegant dignitary from some other part of Nippon is arriving with his colleagues at this prior to the important event of the Emperor's delegation. We have business here.
It would be fun to know if you stick in terms of ceremonial gestures and any kind of etiquette you need to employ to pass as not just in look noble, but as a real noble. So
that would be a mask check, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not very good at that, and I don't think any of us are.
I think I'm good. Let me check. At least I put some bunch of points into that.
If you did, that would be very, very helpful.
Yeah.
We'll just keep our mouth shut. We'll just keep our mouth shut while you do it.
Copy the gestures. Yeah.
Well, or that, or just be like sort of more faceless, generic servant types or staff that sort of shift when needed.
Yeah.
Let him sort of
I like that.
lead the veil, and we'll just kind of trail after it.
Mask, yes. Presence is for guys.
Just in his slipstream. Yeah, hiding in his slipstream. Yeah.
As long as we don't do anything odd, we should be all right with that.
We're going to make a mask roll.
Excellent.
Okay.
Shit. That's a 9.
Here's a... Oh, if you want to reroll, or then I can just go to the scene.
Fuck it. I'll keep this.
Okay, here's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining the camera zooming in to the powering of the tea, and there are many nobles witnessing this encounter. At one point of the table is your delegation. At another point, there is the daimyo, which is really young. It's a 12 years old boy.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
And it's surrounded by some of his personal guard and the head of his court, the Tanegashima Tadatoki. And there's, I would say, a climate of tension, I will say, because your movements are clumsy, or your words are not coming the way they are supposed to. And the daimyo is, I will say that, it's really judgmental. At this moment, he's looking at you, is not pleased, and is really being very nice, considerate, but it's clear that he just wants to know what do you want from him, and then you can just go out without much consideration. It just thinks that it is an insult that is nobles.
Really right.
Okay.
Sure. Go ahead, Pedro. Make your excuses and let's get out of here.
Yes, I think I bow with my head to the floor because it's one of those super ritualistic situations. And I say something to the effect, "We beg your forgiveness, Your Highness, for our clumsy ways. We are from a rural area. We are not so used to the pomp and circumstance of our court. Forgive us if we have offended." And I don't know if that's enough, but I try to kind of make it seem like basically whatever you would need to say to basically just leave with his permission.
Yeah, he says, "I just found really strange that the Emperor sent you to obtain the secrets of our mechanical army, which is growing every day, and yet it sent you from a rural area, as you said, and I just feel that I'm not respected by the Emperor, and certainly not by you.
I'm still with my head to the floor, bowing, and I say, again, our forgiveness, Your Highness. Our skills are not courtly. Our strength lies elsewhere. We again ask for your forgiveness for any offense that we might have caused.
He says,
I also say that we will relay your opinion to the Emperor.
Oh, that'll do just fine.
He says something like,
I'm probably like with my eyes like,
yeah, I know, it's like
Lilith and the,
yeah,
like
we're looking at you like, really.
Anyone wants to take over the talk?
I don't even recall like representing ourselves as the Emperor's people anyway, but that's how it went. All right, let's go.
So we're begging off so we can go and check things out. Yeah.
Adriano, let us know what we can do.
Some snooping.
Adriano, please let us know what is happening and what we are. May we leave?
Yeah, he just says, no one will say that the Tanegashima clan is not known for his hospitality. So we will discuss this matter further. I need you to consider that these implementations will greatly enhance this force of any daimyo that is willing to welcome this unexpected change, and that I'm willing to share these technological advances for a fair price. Lands, the rites of passage for my armies. Times are changing, and you noble ones, and maybe refers to you to a certain name that who knows what clans he sees in you, and says something like, the times are changing, and with this technology, in 5 years, a new member of the ruling class may arise. So value with attention my proposal, and if you're part of the clans surrounding the Emperor, I'm sure that we can find some arrangements that will benefit both of us. And so please stay and enjoy your visit at the Tanegashima Island. You're an honored guest, and I'm willing to discuss this further tonight. And he dismisses you.
One last question before we go.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who could be identified as a very, very helpful and respectful, and certainly not in charge of anything, kind of minister or advisor?
Yeah, I imagine that
there must be somebody. I mean, even like, I'm not even looking for like a shadow or something. I'm just thinking there's got to be such a person involved in this court. You know, the helpful fellow who's making sure that the young daimyo, you know, can do his job properly.
Yeah, of course you can turn your attention to the head of the court, which is the real prominent figure. It's at the right of the daimyo, but there are other members of the court surrounding the daimyo quite distantly from the encounter table. And so you can identify someone
Right.
which is
That's fine.
that willing. Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
So where can we be somewhere that's relatively private then?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You've been arranged, I imagine, some rooms for staying.
All right. Well, then I think it is time for trackers, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Boy, after that one damage roll, everything has been crap. Mask, we're gonna have to go with your trackers, not mine.
Okay. Can you remind me what's the role?
It is a presence roll, and evoke is the skill.
Okay.
And I need to make sure that I think
Presence role. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I do spend a point of vitality because I failed the roll.
Okay. Well. Okay, I'm gonna roll 4 dice. Presence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sucks. That's 8.
Yeah, I didn't do any better.
Yeah, so I lose a vitality. Is that so? Okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
you
Mask,
know, it's okay, really, if you decided to spend time focusing.
we certainly used the
Yeah, because
relaxed, easy environment. We weren't in.
8 is the minimal difficulty check.
Okay.
So
And
if you
my
spend,
total was a 9.
oh, so yeah, okay.
So do I reset my roll and avoid losing, or we just both?
Are you saying that this
What
is a
do you think,
successful
Adrian?
roll?
Is
Yeah,
Ron's
okay.
first roll a success?
Right.
yes.
Okay, then in that case I revert the
Yeah.
the missed vitality.